What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Shout out to everybody that's joining in on the live. Man, if you guys dropped in on the live earlier today, we got the truth was too hot.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
So what happened? Slight situation. Anyways, in this video, we're going to be talking about the truth of Kamala Harris's $1.7 trillion economic plan and what it means to America, and the unrealized capital gains tax that everybody needs to know. I want to preface this video for the YouTube's purposes and for everybody watching also that I'm not a financial advisor. I am only going to be speaking through my experience, and I'm going to be referencing news articles and sharing my experiences. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, so take it as what you will. Shout out to everybody watching. Again, drop your comments down below. Let me know where you're watching this out of. I really like seeing where everybody's from. It's super dope. And smash the like button if you kindly would. Let me share screen real quick. So Harris's unrealized gains, capital gain or gains tax. How many of you guys are familiar with that situation, or capital gains tax? When it, shout out to Kentucky, shout out to Missouri, Mississippi in the house. How many of you guys are familiar with capital gains and capital gains taxes? I've been in real estate since 2012. I started investing in real estate in 2014, and this proposal is very interesting because it's a proposal that's been floating around that could change a lot when it comes to, particularly, and I'm going to speak on the real estate investment sector, when it comes to unrealized capital gains, and it could affect a lot more than just the quote unquote wealthy folk, right, or wealthy individuals. How many of you guys are familiar with capital gains tax? So and we'll jump into some videos here shortly, but Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign recently confirmed that she supports all the nearly $5 trillion of tax increases, including President Biden's 2025 budget proposal. Among the list are tax hikes, novel proposals to taxes unrealized gains on for wealthy Americans. And I'm going to highlight wealthy Americans because it's not just for wealthy individuals, it's for anybody that owns a home. And this is very interesting. So and it's crazy because right here it says Harris's 28% federal corporate tax rate at 44.6% top capital gains and dividend tax rate would give the United States the highest tax rate on corporate income. Now, I'm going to share this video with Vivek. Let me share here. Before we jump into this, this tax cut, like I said, isn't just for the ultra wealthy individuals. It's for anybody that owns a home. It could potentially impact individuals that are just looking to purchase a home or to start off in investing in regards of real estate. And if the capital gains, or if the unrealized gains and the cash flow don't coincide, it's just not simply going to make sense. And it's going to force a lot of people to liquidate their assets. So I'm going to kind of reference this a little bit. Imagine like a farmer's planting seeds, and then the administration comes by, and before those seeds actually even have the opportunity to bloom, they're going to say, hey, we're going to tax you on the future fruit and vegetables that you're going to grow before you're even able to sell those fruits and vegetables, which is, it's daunting. I'm going to jump into this video with Vivek.
especially in the tech sector, you have people sitting on large, long-standing embedded capital gains. And so for people to understand what this means, it means you have to pay taxes on sales that you have not yet made. And even forget the stock market and think about even everyday Americans across this country. That means that if you're a farmer or if you're a small business owner, you will owe taxes with cash you literally do not have in your pocket to pay those taxes. That is a formula for a second Great Depression. And it is something that's been in the bloodstream of Democratic policy for a long time. Go back to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders' plans of a wealth tax, even in the 2020 primary. I think this idea is here to stay for the Democrats. That's a big one. I think Tim Walz's selection as vice president says a lot. That's the first real presidential style decision we've seen Kamala Harris have to make. She went with somebody who at the state level has favored increasing taxes on capital gains. In that case, it was unrealized, but they have talked about unrealized gains and taxing them. And I do worry about that, what that means, not just for the stock market, but for everyday Americans across the
stock market. If there's not 60 votes for that in the Senate, the stock market doesn't have to price it.
Yeah, 60 votes, or if you agree. I respectfully disagree with one aspect of that, because Kamala Harris has been the chief proponent of ending the filibuster to ram through her policy objectives. Yeah. And so if she's the president of the United States, and in my view, God forbid, a Democratic Senate to aid her, that could be 51 votes. And could you get to 51 votes on a major change in tax policy like that? I think the answer is absolutely yes. I think that's conceivable. And so for a lot of business leaders across the country, one of the questions they might want to ask is, which is going to be the administration that's more friendly to business? Well, we don't know where she stands on tariffs. We don't know where she stands on a lot of other questions. But on tax policy alone, the idea of not just raising tax rates, but raising tax rates and applying taxes on unrealized income, that is a catastrophe of epic proportion.
Absolutely. I 100% agree, because how can you tax somebody on something that hasn't been sold? Because traditionally, when you purchase a property, you don't pay taxes every year. And what she's proposing is, once you purchase a property and the appreciation occurs in the asset, that you're going to have to pay regardless on what you paid for it initially, during the appreciation period, you're going to pay the appreciation difference. So what you paid for versus what the value is. Normally, you just pay taxes at the time that you sell a property. And again, this isn't just targeting quote unquote wealthy and rich individuals. The income, this affects people that are selling homes, and it also affects individuals that may have inherited homes. And imagine that you inherited a property, and over the course of years, just based off of the trends in real estate, appreciation always goes up, and the value of the property is always going to go up. So imagine you inherited a home and you have to pay these unrealized gains taxes on properties that you didn't even sell yet. This proposal is a massive shift towards more like centralized control over individuals' quote unquote financial freedom or financial wealth, if you would. I'm going to jump into this real quick. Here we go. Now, this is an interesting video, because it talks about in regards of inflation on retirement. And then we're going to talk about the housing prices and the appreciation. Then we're going to get into some investing stuff.
This big graph of inflation in the country compared under Biden and Harris, and then Trump and Pence. So I guess the big question is, what was life for you under Donald Trump compared to now?
A whole different ballgame. Like I said, I mean, the intention was always to work because I wanted to, just work 20, 30 hours a week, stay busy, stay active, have a couple extra bucks in my pocket. Now it's basically just to survive. Our expenses, our household expenses over the last 4 years have increased anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a month. And that's as a result of everything I just stated. Groceries, car insurance has gone up $200 to $300 a month in the last 4 years. And it's not just because we live in Florida. You can check. They tell you the same thing. It's inflation. Any given month, any given week, you know, if we have stuff going on, the grocery bills are outrageous. So in the wages, When I want to scream when I hear Biden talk and Harris talk about how wages have kept up. No, they have not. No employer on this planet can give their employee a 10 to 20% raise a year. It's not happening. That is a fallacy. And I don't expect employers to do that. There's no way they can.
And this is interesting because it's not just hitting the real estate market. It's 401ks, stock markets, your stock market investing, your other investments. And it's crazy. It's bananas. I'm seeing in the comments, $8 for ground beef. Yeah, absolutely. $8 for ground beef. That is 100% fact. Now, this is CNBC speaking to one of Harris's representatives. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys so much. Those of you that are catching this live, and for those that are catching this on the replay, yeah, I'm definitely, whoever's catching this on the replay, still comment, like down below. What's up? This is a representative from the Harris camp talking about the unrealized capital gains.
Unrealized gains, taxing unrealized gains just doesn't seem fair in any sense of the word. In the very best sense, if you were taxing unrealized gains, all you're doing is pulling forward the taxes that would be paid later when someone actually sells the stock.
I think that this reaction to unrealized gains is a little funny, given that I bet that the majority of people watching right now are already paying a tax on unrealized gains. It's called a property tax.
Yeah, but property tax isn't at the same rate of appreciation on a particular property. Property tax is totally based on the zoning of your particular property, the land use of your particular property. Property tax generally doesn't appreciate as quickly as appreciation on a property has. And we're going to get into a map to show you how ridiculous that comment is.
Property tax.
When the value of your home goes up,
that's an old.
It's a use tax.
when the value of your home goes up, you pay higher taxes, even if you don't sell your home.
Your value of your home never moves the way a stock moves, the way something else moves.
That's always the go-to answer.
It's also, property tax is a use tax. You're paying for the schools, you're paying for emergency services. Those are things that make absolute sense.
And sure, and all the revenue that comes in from these unrealized gains taxes and the other taxes in the Harris plan are going to go to creating what she calls more opportunity. It's to make sure that every newborn born in this country gets $6,000
using the services.
Well, look, you're arguing that this is some sort of foreign concept that's completely unknown.
It's probably unconstitutional. It's probably, and it was never in anyone's intent to
it's not income.
tax.
It's not an income tax,
and it's never going to happen. Probably. Not in, well, I'm not going to say my lifetime.
I wouldn't say that.
Not in Becky's lifetime.
It is. It is completely outlandish for them to think this. This is actually Grant Cardone. Believe it or not, I actually went to a Grant Cardone conference back in 2016. One of the first conferences. Grant Cardone, if you guys aren't familiar with Grant Cardone got his start in real estate investing, and now he's a internet guy. But he talks very clearly about these capital gain, these unrealized taxes.
Of you that are wondering and asking about what the effect of a Kamala Harris victory would be, it will be this: complete destruction of the middle class. Okay, your 401ks could get hammered by 50% or more. She wants to actually tax that without you selling that asset. Housing prices in this country will get inflated at a rate that you've never, it'll be shocking. The idea that she would build 4 million homes in America in the next 4 years, they didn't build one home in America in the last 4 years. Why would they build 4 million? And why hasn't she done that if she could do that? The idea to build affordable housing is a complete misnomer. It's misdirection. It's a red herring. It's bullshit at best, because you cannot build affordable homes in this country. The top 20 cities in America. This is statistical proof, factual. You can go.
And real quick to jump on his part in regards of affordable homes. Affordable homes are like also similarly to a Fugazi, right? Affordable homes are totally based on the median price of the area in which the home is located. Let's say a developer picks up a piece of land and goes for a community development grant and applies for affordable housing. It's totally based on the area in which it is. So if all the median homes in the area are $700,000, affordable homes are going to be a little bit lower than the remainder homes in the area.
Go look it up yourself. Of the 20 most expensive cities in America, they are all Democratic. Okay, San Francisco, Oakland, San Diego, Los Angeles. 4 of them are in California, where she resided most of her life. The middle class tax. I won't tax the middle class. Yes, she will. She is going to print more money. That is inflation, the invisible tax on your dollars. You've lost 25% of your savings rate, your 401k, and the equity in your home. In the last 4 years, you have had that money chopped away. You don't see it. But if you had $1 million in a savings account in 2020, you would have earned a little bit of interest, maybe 2%, maybe 3%. Maybe if you're a special person, you're a privileged like I am, you earn 5.5%. So you earn 5.5%, but what they don't show you is that you lost 25% of the value of that dollar, meaning your $1 million is only worth $750. Okay. The cost of housing in America in the last 4 years has gone from a $1,900 mortgage to a $3,100 mortgage. And if she passes any of the 3 bills on housing, the average payment mortgage on a house will go to over $4,000 before property taxes, maintenance, HOA fees, and property taxes. Kamala Harris will destroy the middle class. She will destroy the value of the US dollar. She will destroy the ability for you and your family to be able to take care of the bills that you're already struggling to take care of. Let me just say this to the wealthy people that might see this. Wealthy people will continue to get super rich. Okay, if I can show you a graph between 1983 and 2008, there's 20 out of 28 years where Republicans were in charge of the government. The middle class expansion for assets, savings accounts, incomes, all did this. They went up like that, almost on that perfect trajectory, about a 45% angle. From 2009 to 2024 to today, you will see a graph that looks like this. Less income, less savings, less wealth, less equity in your home. It literally goes like this. The middle class has shrunk. Under 20 years out of 28 years, the middle class expanded from 1981 to 2008. Then we had the big bust, okay? Since 2008, the big global reset. And we're prepping for another big global reset, okay? The middle class has been destroyed in America, and they're going to continue to destroy it. They said you will own nothing and be happy about it. Vote carefully in 2024, folks. Do your due diligence. Kamala Harris is dangerous. She is an extremely dangerous person. She either is financially illiterate or intentionally wants to destroy America, or she believes that the people that support her are too lazy to do their due diligence, because once you do, you'd never vote.
And here's the other thing. So you guys have heard BlackRock, I'm sure. There are other huge conglomerate hedge funds that are purchasing land. And I'll use Vegas as a reference. They are purchasing land to build homes, quote unquote, affordable homes. But here is the kicker. They're building homes, but they're not selling them. They're building them to rent. places like California, Hawaii, New York, LA specifically, California, LA, New York, Hawaii, these major metropolitan areas where the majority of the population will not own homes because it's so out of reach in regards of costs and affordability, on top of our general expenses that have gone up. You guys are saying, you know, loans, car insurance has gone up. I've definitely shopped around for my car insurance and reduced that bill significantly. My homeowner's insurances on the assets that I have, definitely I shopped around because all of this has gone up. Yeah, and this comment right here, he definitely explains it 100%. I did watch this. I did watch this. It was a good, solid interview. It was the Tucker one, and then also the Dr. Phil one as well. And those of you that are in California, California Senate passes a new bill that will give illegal migrants $150,000 in taxpayer-backed monies for home loans. What?
In the meantime, illegal immigrants in California now one step closer to receiving state funds that they could use for a down payment on a home. Senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse reports. Hi, William.
Well, Martha, the bill just passed the state Senate. It now goes back to the Assembly, where Democrats have a supermajority, and aides tell me it is likely to pass. The bill makes illegal migrants eligible for $150,000 to buy a new home. Lawmakers created the program so citizens and legal residents could afford to live here. But last week, Democrats changed the law to say this: an applicant who meets requirements for the loan assistance program shall not be disqualified.
An applicant who meets the requirements for a loan under the Home Purchase Assistance Program shall not be disqualified by agencies solely based on the applicant's immigration status. What?
Qualified solely based on the applicant's immigration status.
The social and economic benefits of homeownership should be accessible to everyone, regardless of immigration status.
So the program provides first-time buyers with a zero-interest loan up to 20% of the home's purchase price. So that's up to $150,000 cash up front for a down payment and closing costs. This year, this $255 million program sold out in 11 hours, requiring a lottery. 18,000 applied, 2,000 got loans. And when a home sells, the state is repaid with a small percentage of any appreciation. The bill is sponsored by a prominent Latino rights group with close ties to Vice President Harris.
Question. If the unrealized gains tax occurs and an individual receives $150,000 benefit to acquire a home, that right there is proving a point that in the beginning they're not even eligible to purchase a property. So how are they going to pay for the unrealized gains tax? I don't know. Just a question. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just asking, right?
What the rest of the America needs to be worried about is the Kamala Harris-Walz administration taking these crazy California ideas and nationalizing them and taking them to the rest of the country. The country can't afford to buy illegal immigrants' homes.
Well, this bill does have a lot of Democratic support. The question is, does Governor Newsom sign it? If it passes, smart money in Sacramento tells me he does.
Mr. Newsom. Oh man. Now, I wanted to show you, because the video is more so about the unrealized gains here. So Let me share screen. Boom. So this this is how much a home costs. That's good. So these are home prices in different states, right? So California, for example, $793,000. $793,000. In places like Arizona, average price per home is $435,000. And, in Midwest states, prices drop significantly. District of Columbia, $640,000. Hawaii, $714,000. Nevada, almost $480,000. New Hampshire, $450,000. In the Midwest states, Mississippi, Missouri, Minnesota, in the twos, $250,000, $230,000, $330,000. Oregon, $490,000. But you can see, I think this one's a little off. But Texas is a big state, so there's a lot of land out there. So Washington, $605,000. Now, these prices have significantly gone up since the C19 era. But here is the pickle. This is income for 1 earner, 2 earner, 3 earner, 4 earner households. So if we go back, and this is what some individuals don't necessarily know, is let's use Nevada, for example. And I'm going to use Nevada and California because it's a neighboring state. So Nevada's average price per home is $480,000, and then California is at $793,000. And the average income for an individual in California is $74,000. The average income for a single person household in Nevada is $64,000. Generally speaking, on a stable market that isn't super bullish, the income generally, the home prices are generally 3 to 4 times higher than the income. Generally, in a situation that we're having now in our economic state at $64,000, the average price per home is in Nevada, $64,000 earned income. And then we have Nevada at $480,000. That is significantly higher than 3 to 4 times more income. That's almost 8, 9 times the income. So wages have not gone up to navigate through the housing expense. And, with her proposal of the $25,000 rebate for first-time home buyers, that isn't necessarily going to lower prices. That is just going to increase prices, or people are going to place that on the back end of the loan. So I just wanted to hop on and share this with you guys. How many of you guys in the chat have been feeling the increased cost of insurance and the increased costs of housing prices? Because in Nevada or in Las Vegas, a studio that is 1,100 square feet is going for $3,200. Just to reference this, also, a mortgage payment on $480 is about $3,200, depending on the down payment. And that is bananas. That is absolutely bananas. What do you guys think about this this situation with Kamala Harris and these unrealized gains tax? This is not going to be good for anybody, period. Not just wealthy people, not just people that are in the top 1%. This is going to affect everybody. Yeah. I'm looking at the chat right now. Look at New York. It's just insane. Wow. Let me go back to New York real quick. $650. Now imagine if the unrealized gains on a property that you had purchased 24 years ago, every year that the home appreciates, she's proposing that you would have to pay taxes on these unrealized gains prior to you even selling the property. It's bananas. It's bananas because that home probably 24 years ago in New York, how much was the home in New York 24 years ago? It's probably what, 130, 160, something like that. Yeah, I know in Nevada, I can speak for Nevada because I'm relative to Nevada. So 479 in Nevada now is the average price per home. 30 years ago, the average price per home was probably 160. Maybe even less. Maybe 110. Maybe 110. Yeah. Oh, so it was 130. It was 130. Yeah. That is a smoking deal, by the way. that is a smoking deal. And by the way, again, not a financial advisor, but you don't necessarily have to pay taxes up to $200,000 when you sell a property that's your personal residence. Again, not a financial advisor. This is just what, and I got to say this, just what I heard, right? What's the average income boost on a property? What do you mean by that? This it's ridiculous. This these unrealized gains. Yeah, honestly, if you're not, if it's interesting, right? Because there were people at the DNC asking individuals, why Kamala Harris? You know, what kind of policies? What, you know, there was an individual that was trolling and he was like, oh, what, you know, why do you like Kamala Harris? And nobody, they just say, because she's a woman and she's a woman of color. That is not a policy. That is not a policy. You're voting for somebody because she's a woman and she's a woman of color. But they don't realize all these other repercussions that happen because you're just voting for somebody because they're a woman of color and a woman. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Homes in California. Let's see. Homes in the California market sell super quickly to Hispanics where I live. Yeah. Yep. Same here in Las Vegas. Same here in Las Vegas as well. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. It's crazy because she's doing this interview with Tim Walz by her side as a handholder to do this interview tomorrow, which I'm interested to see. It's going to be pre-recorded, guys. It's going to be pre-recorded, and it's on a favorable network, CNN. So it's how she can't mess up that bad, right? I don't know because they can cut and edit and make it look good, just like that. Did you guys see that cringe interview that Kamala Harris did with Tim Walz? What are they gonna do? Talk about tacos? White people tacos is what they called it. Let's see what this is. There's no way you can tax unrealized gains. She may try to put it through, but yeah, that would be ridiculous because it would, it would be bananas. It would be bananas. Absolutely. Yep. Well, guys, I just wanted to share that quick update on the unrealized gains and what she's proposing. This was one of her proposals on top of the two other ones that I've heard. One, which was no tax on tips, which sounds incredibly familiar. I don't remember where I heard it from, but she said that she's not taxing tips, which it sounds really familiar. I don't know. I think she stole it. And then the second one, she wants to continue commission on the wall for her entire, from 2020, when she was running as the Democratic nominee for president. She said that the wall was a medieval vanity project. And now she wants to finish the wall. Huh. I wonder where she got that idea from. I'm not sure. Yeah, it will absolutely destroy the housing market, the crypto market, the stock market. And speaking of pulling money out, Warren Buffett, who is a very savvy investor, pulled out a significant amount of money. I believe it was in B of A. And I haven't looked into that. I haven't looked into detail of that particular story, but that is interesting as well, because that individual, Warren Buffett, knows what's going on. Let's see. Yeah. And then the two astronauts that are stuck in space. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Well, guys, I'm gonna jump on out of here. I'm gonna go walk the dog, get a little workout in. But yeah. Shout out to everybody watching. I really appreciate you guys watching, commenting. Those of you that are catching this on the replay, comment, like, subscribe, and I'm gonna jump on out of here. As always, guys, it's always a pleasure. I really appreciate chatting with you guys. And until then, I will catch you guys on the next one.